Okay, everybody, this is going to be the video where I replace these horrible, rattly old original mirrors to the car, or at least one original mirror on this side of the car. I've got another early Miata non-power mirror style mirror on here, and I'm going to be replacing them with the mirrors that I've wanted on this car since I discovered them, Raydots. So these things are awesome. I really like the look that these have got. Really kind of a retro vintage look to them. There's a little bit of stuff I'm going to have to do with mine being a non-power window car. I'm going to have to actually drill a little bit of a hole out there to make it fit. So it's going to be pretty fun. I'm excited to get these on the car because I've wanted these for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of start digging into getting this going. And I'll cut to it once I actually start getting the cutting going. And yeah, I'll kind of go over what you need to know and where you need to make your cuts on here to install these. Okay, everybody. So I've got one mirror installed, just so I can kind of get a feel for it as far as the actual install process, because this is not as easy a job for me personally, as this isn't a non-power mirror style car, and this kit is intended for power mirror and Miatas. So what you're gonna have to do to install it on a non-power mirror car is gonna be what I'm doing right here, which involves a little bit of light modification to the door, just opening up the holes a little bit to get these to fit in nicely. But I do like how these look personally. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to move to the other side of the car, to where I've still got knocked over a little bit of stuff over there. I'll try to get the light set up down here. It's still fairly early in the morning, a little damp, and there's not a lot of light outside, and it's full of mosquitoes. So what I'm going to be doing is going through on this side, now that I've got a little bit of experience with the other, and going through how to replace this with the Raydot style mirror, and get rid of this loose, flappy base plate right here that's never shut up since I've had the car. So I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled off. There are two screws. You can only get them off from one angle. So if you just pull this down like this, you can access that screw as well as that screw. You'll want a little bit bigger of a head on the screwdriver for it. A Phillips head screwdriver. Pull those off easily. Maybe some penetrating fluid depending on how old and crusty your Miata is. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, and then I'll show you the modification to the door that you're going to need to do to install these mirrors. Okay, just something I want to mention, because I did learn about this recently. I've just got this non-power mirror pulled off. There appear to be two different styles of non-power mirror for these cars. One described as the half moon style, which it looks like this one right here is. It's got this little, so I can get it without using the camera. This little half moon right here, which is in part with the locating dowel right there for the mirror, basically to make sure that you get it put on straight. That's one style. Then over here on the one that was original to the car, grab that. So this one doesn't have that half moon on it, as you can see. It's just got, it's just got this little locating dowel right here, and as you can see on my door, which you can also tell they resprayed it with the mirrors on. Lovely little work there. It's actually made a depression in the door and an indentation right there where that half moon was. So if you're picking up replacement non-power mirrors, original mirrors for this car, or for your Miata, one thing to watch out for, because the blue mirror here never fit quite right because it was never able to fully seat into the hole because it had that little half moon there. So if you're looking to just do a stock replacement mirror, make sure it'll fit, or I suppose you could also just cut that little moon tab off to make it fit for you. But just one thing I noticed, and I figured I'd probably share with you guys, because that's a good bit of information if you're just replacing stock parts or whatever you need to do ultimately. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up now, and then I'll go ahead and cut the hole, because this is going to have to get opened up a good bit in order to fit the mirror. Okay, so what I've done right now, I've just got the base plate put on here, and in the instructions, what it tells you is that the side with the plastic on it, that is going to be your top side. So what you'll actually see on the outside of the vehicle, and then what I do, because looking at these non-power mirror doors, obviously the holes don't line up because it's not intended to, or well, it's not the one that the kit was intended to be used with. So what I do is I just grab a Sharpie, fill in that little half moon shape right there, and then another thing that I found after having done that side, you're also going to need to kind of hollow out these holes or wallow out the holes a little bit towards the center on each side, because if you can see right there, this is slightly offset from the center line of the hole for the door. The screws will thread in fine. It's just a matter of this is just a little bit too far off to one side. But after I pull this back off, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use that half moon shape right there to put this down. Grab, because included with the hardware, you got a couple. Just point you at nothing for a second. You got a couple little pieces of hardware. There's a little washer, and what you'll do is you'll just try to line up that washer. Shoot. You'll just line up that washer up here with the half moon that you kind of marked out, Sharpie around that, and then cut your hole so that you can fit this through there, because that's the nut that's going to allow the mirror to pivot on. You just need to be able to get that through there so the mirror can actually fit flush to the door. So what you'll do, take this back off, mark your hole for this one, and then cut it out with your tool of choice. A stepper bit is honestly going to be the best thing if you have one of those already. I don't have one, so what I'm doing, I'm using a Dremel to open up the hole big enough to fit it through, and then cleaning it up with a grinding bit between here. And there's also, you can't see it yet, but there's a second layer of metal inside the door. You'll need to trim back as well to let the nut fully pass through and seat, and as well, just open up these holes a little bit. And as you can see, previous owner didn't take the mirrors off the paint, and it doesn't fit flush here with this. And I've double checked to make sure that this is the correct orientation for this. So it looks like it's gonna have this exposed, because you know what, here, let's double check that side. I've got about ½ an inch there, top of the mount to the top of the door, and yeah, ½ an inch from the top of the mount to that little crest in the door right there. So I'm gonna have some fun trying to match this random red to something like that, try to cover this up, or I don't know what I'll do. I'll just try something to clean it up a little, because I spent all this time and money painting the car, or at least kind of giving it, you know, cleaner rear quarters, and now I've got that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna pull this off, go ahead and make those holes. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've opened up the hole on the door enough that I believe it's going to fit the headlight, the mirror. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna paint this to kind of protect the bare exposed metal, but I'm not gonna do it yet. So I need to fully assemble the mirror. It's still sitting in the box over here for this side. I need to assemble it first, so that way I can fit it up to the door and make sure that I've got enough clearance everywhere for it to actuate, and it not run into anything and block part of your adjustability for the mirror. So what I'm gonna do now, the instructions go over it very clearly, how you need to assemble the mirror, and then from there I'm gonna fit it up here, make sure it fits, clean this up, paint it a little bit around the edge where it's exposed, just to protect it from the elements. And then from there, what I'm going to do is pretty well just screw it onto the car, because I've already opened up the holes on this slightly. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but they're just slightly further to the inside, just because, you know, at least on my non-power mirror doors, the bolts are just a little bit tighter than what the base plate gives you. Maybe it's a manufacturing, you know, discrepancy for the base plates. I don't know. I would just try it on yours. Make sure that they're going to bolt up before you start doing it, and you know, end up cross-threading your threads and making your life a lot harder than it needs to be. So I'm going to go ahead and get the mirror put together, and then from there, paint this and stick them on the car, and that's pretty well the install. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, and pro tip, if you're using a grinding wheel or a cutting wheel or anything, a Dremel in this spot in overall, put your mirror up, because it's going to help to block metal shavings from getting thrown into your interior, like I didn't realize on that side. So my passenger seat especially, and a little bit of my driver's seat, has got metal shavings on it. So I need to do a full cleanup vacuum of all that just to get it nicer. But this is an easy way to help minimize all that, because metal shavings, they're not fun on your skin or in your eyes, which is why I'm wearing glasses. I learned that lesson whenever I was welding in the quarter panels and grinding the metal clear. Not fun. So definitely throw your windows up whenever you're doing this job. So I'm going to go ahead and get it assembled, cut back to it in a second. Okay, and with that, you've got your finished result right there. Your Raydot, however you want to interpret the name of it, installed on a non-power mirror in a Miata. So overall, I really like the finish of them and the aesthetic of them. I like them a lot more than what I was working with my mismatched original mirrors. I do like the way the mirrors look, the original mirrors look, but mine were just so haggard. I couldn't do it, and I thought about going with just the power mirrors and just not running power to them, but I like the aesthetic of these a lot. So I'm really pleased. I'm glad you guys get to see a lot of the trash I've still got accumulated over here in my garage. But such is working on cars in, not super small spaces, but barns. So yeah, I'm really pleased with these. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get them finally adjusted up quite right to where I like them as far as for my driving. And then that's probably just go for a drive and enjoy them. And they do have convex mirrors in them, convex mirrors, so you can get a pretty good range of view out of them. I'm not going to say it's massive, but it's not as small as you would kind of expect these really smaller diameter mirrors to be. So I'm pretty pleased with them. I'm going to clean up, and I'm going to go enjoy them. So if you thought this video was helpful, I know I really couldn't, or at least I didn't see too many videos of the installation on these ones, especially for a car with that needs to have the holes opened up. I think that's helpful, just so people out there can see exactly how much they're really going to need to take away material-wise for their doors if they want to do this on their car. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it, because I mean, even if I wanted to do the power mirrors on this car, I'd have to do the same thing. I'd still have to make the holes bigger, just to be able to fit the power mirrors onto this car too. So really, I think this is a pretty universal video for anybody who's putting mirrors on their car and they have to open up the back hole a little bit to accept it. There might be some top-down style mirrors where just the pivot action is all up here and the stud is built into the base plate. Then this really wouldn't apply too much, but ultimately for, I think, a lot of people who are going to be putting mirrors on their car, this is going to apply. So if you enjoyed it, please leave a like. I would really appreciate it. If you want to subscribe to see more stuff, because there is more coming on this car, definitely subscribe. There's things such as I need to actually put those little quarter flares on here. This is going to be coming fairly soon. I painted these up with the car to match, because this is the only thing that came on the car I really, really liked. Let me just get these kind of set up here. So going from the stock body of the car to roughly that. I'm not going to fuss with it too much, but that's going to be kind of the way the fit of it is. And then I'm going to do the black line. It's going to get finally extended back across here and then onto here. That's coming fairly soon, just once I get the time to do that. So you'll see that on the video. And then I do really want to pick up a set of coilovers for this thing, because it's just a monster truck. With the way that it sits right now, and the springs are no good to anybody at this point in their life cycle. So that's coming. So if you want to see more of that stuff, please subscribe. I'm gonna do it, and hopefully you guys learn something out of it, and you guys get to enjoy it. And yeah, leave comments. I'll try to keep up in the comment section, and that's it. I'm not really great at outros. I'm just kind of doing this for fun and seeing where it goes. So I'm going to stop rambling, take it easy, and keep modifying.